In a previous QNT video, we laid out the theory for Quant Network's involvement with the digital euro. People called it speculation at the time, and many said it was a conspiracy. Now we no longer have breadcrumbs, we have confirmation. So today I want to go into clues that we noticed for the digital pound, digital euro, and ones we can find looking forward to the digital dollar. So if you hold QNT or just enjoy watching the videos, be sure to leave a like down below. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so a quick reminder for every video that we make that this is not financial advice and for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in crypto is guaranteed and you could lose all of your money. Stay safe and do your own research. Now first, we have to get straight into the digital euro. No longer speculation, it is all real. So Quant Network are now the programmability layer for the digital euro, embedding conditional payments at the wallet level, and we're going to see trillions in transactions. So Quant are now involved with digital pound, digital euro. They've solved interoperability. They have a scarcer supply than Bitcoin, 10x the use case depending on who you ask, and the project is still under $100. The race to 1, 10, 100 QNT has begun for many. And the digital euro is not just some fancy version of cash, right? It's programmable, it's trackable, it's designed to move across borders, and the EU needed a way to connect all their banks, payment systems, apps without creating everything from scratch. And that's exactly what Quant does. They connect old systems with new digital money, and if Quant is chosen as a connection layer for Europe, they're probably going to be chosen for future developments and how Europe moves and manages money. But we're talking about a region here of over 400 million people and trillions in annual transactions. And the fact is, governments rarely change their tech. So if Quant is picked now, they're likely going to stay with them. Moving on to how we found the breadcrumbs that led to us believing Quant had involvement with digital euro. First was the actual April Fool's post. So this was actually on the website for only 10 minutes where it said we worked on digital pound, UK RLN, and the digital euro. Now I thought at first it was April Fool's, but why would it only be uploaded for 10 minutes and not the whole day? And I could not think of a company less likely to do an April Fool's. So that was one reason. And there was also other breadcrumbs lying around like the European Central Bank using Amazon and 4 other companies to help develop the digital euro back in 2022. Nexi was one of the chosen companies, a partner of Quant Network who use QNT. Also, Gilbert Verdine writing endless pieces on the digital euro. The same was done for the digital pound project Rosalind before they announced their involvement. And back in 2024, at the Digital Euro conference, when it came to Project Rosalind, many pushed for the digital euro to go in the same direction. Well, and surely Quant Network would have involvement once again, and they did. And that's what we do on the channel. We dig a little bit deeper, we try and find breadcrumbs, and we connect to the end goal. So if you log into the channel, keep updated with these regular updates, you will find out the information before the masses. That's what we did in this video, right? I bought 4 QNT based on this information, about 50% from that date. Moving on to Project Rosalind. Clues that we found out first. So it started back in January 2023 when the Bank for International Settlements invited applicants to participate in the CBDC API project with the Bank of England. And we stated that Quant is most likely the API used by the Bank of England and Bank for International Settlements here. Now, we also noticed similarities with the digital euro, posting articles before the trials took place. Similar on LinkedIn, Gilbert Verdi and the CEO of Quant liking numerous posts about the digital pound and digital euro. Also, we all know that Quant have been in talks when it comes to CBDC dialogue, their notable partnership with blockchain, developing the digital Latin American dollar. And when you look at these reports, you see similar wording that reminds you of Quant Network's QNT. So you just have to put 2 and 2 together. And looking forward, we know the Bank of Israel digital shekel was inspired by Project Rosalind, and so was the Bank of Japan digital yen. So if they're using the same architecture, Quant could be in line for more integrations, or if they're looking for similar solutions, surely Quant is the obvious candidate there. It makes perfect sense. Right? We talk about digital euro, which is a bigger fish that we fried already. We're talking about the Eurozone, which covers 20 countries, 400 million plus people. That's like 10x Japan and 30x Israel. It's not that far of a jump. Moving on to Project Meridian. Do they have involvement with that? Well, they were launched at the same time as Project Rosalind. Both use DLTs and both use APIs. And here is a great find by Sam, the first Meridian trial co-author, promoting Rosalind on LinkedIn and appreciating it, talking about Rosalind and Meridian synchronization. And it would make no sense to talk about Rosalind if it was not the same technology. So yes, there is a lot of overlaps when it comes to both trials. Both have APIs, both initiated by the Bank of England. Another great find here, Gilbert Verdian, the CEO of Quant, liking a post about Project Meridian. It might seem like a stretch, but this also happened with the UK's regulated liability network, Digital Euro, Digital Pound, before their involvement. And I want you to listen to this little clip from the Bank for International Settlements Project Meridian Synchronized Settlement in FX.
Project Meridian FX proves that wholesale payment infrastructures, such as real-time gross settlement systems, can interoperate with each other via new technologies. The joint project between the Bank for International Settlements, Bank of England, Bank of France, Bank of Italy, Deutsche Bundesbank and European Central Bank explored synchronizing foreign exchange transactions. It demonstrated that these transactions could be settled atomically across jurisdictions and across different types of infrastructures. Synchronization is a process whereby two or more assets are settled atomically when the transfer of one leg of the transaction, such as buying a currency, happens only if the transfer of the other leg, such as selling another currency, occurs. To test the atomic settlement of foreign exchange transactions, a synthetic version of the UK RTGS system was connected via a synchronization operator to 3 experimental Eurosystem interoperability solutions. The DL3S solution, developed by the Bank of France, the TIPS Hashlink solution, developed by the Bank of Italy, and the Trigger solution, developed by the Deutsche Bundesbank. The synchronization operator coordinated the movement of central bank money between accounts. It was based on distributed ledger technology, allowing either single or multiple operators in different jurisdictions on a shared network. Meridian FX allowed the synchronization operator to provide gross settlement for certain transactions, for example those that end users might consider urgent, and batch settlement for less urgent transactions. Meridian FX sought to address some of the actions called for in the G20 cross-border payments roadmap. For example, reducing foreign exchange settlement risk using payment versus payment transactions, and establishing realistic interoperability links between the wholesale payment infrastructures of different countries. Synchronization could also mitigate some of the liquidity risk and credit risk challenges in the foreign exchange market. Combined with the results of previous work undertaken by the BIS and the Bank of England, Meridian FX shows that synchronization can be used regardless of the asset or fund of the transaction involved and the technology of the ledgers, highlighting its potential use in other markets. Insights gained from the project will inform the work programs of the participating central banks.
And there's just a lot of overlap in dialogue, right? Developed APIs that can sync an RTGS, synchronized settlement that uses an OpenAI format. It's hinting at Overledger, it's hinting at SATP, and so on. Moving on to the dollar, it does not get much more obvious than this. Gilbert Verdian, CEO of Quant Network, tweeting programmable pounds, programmable euros, tick tick. Next is the dollar. Right, 2 of the 4 most traded currencies, Euro, GBP. Next is USD. Now, we know this is pretty much obvious, right? Gilbert Verdian himself was part of the Secure Payments Task Force back in 2017 to 2018 and is still currently part of the Fed Payments Improvement Committee today. And the digital dollar has been in the works for years, right? Gilbert Verdian, good to be back at Boston Fed, Secure Payments Task Force meeting back in 2020, discussion about digital assets and CBDC. This has been in the work for a long time. I don't think I have to dive any deeper for the dollar. I mean, it's pretty much laid out there for us. So we have a world where the euro, the pound, the dollar is all under a unified, interoperable future where the overledger is essentially connecting the whole global financial system. This is not jargon. This is literally what is happening, and it's not even priced in yet at all. Am I going crazy here? I don't know, because it comes back to this quote here. The market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Utility is going to win in the end, but staying through, believing, being patient through the hype, FOMO of these meme coins increasing thousands of percent, that really is a true challenge, right? These slow, institutional rollout that we are seeing. And finally, we have Visa, introducing the Visa tokenized asset platform. There's a lot of similarities in language, right? Interoperating across multiple blockchains, allowing banks to interact with public and permission blockchains for a single API. This is what Quantum Networks Overledger is designed to facilitate. And yeah, there's just a lot of similar language there. And as sure as the months go on, we're going to see more and more breadcrumbs and more connections from the Overledger to Visa. I mean, Visa was part of the UK's regulated liability network. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. Now, this recent upsurge in the market, I got to be honest, I'm pretty shocked it was this violent and this quick altogether. The good thing is, the beauty of it is most altcoins, quality ones like QNT, are still at their previous bear pre-bull 2023 levels. So I'm for sure stacking up still on QNT. But if you made this far in a video, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.